thing I really want to talk about today. First, I got to try. For some reason, my live stream keeps dropping, so we'll see how many times I got to keep resetting it, restarting it. Okay. So right now, the thing I want to talk about is responsibility. I'm not talking about those household responsibilities that you got to deal with every day. I'm not talking about taking out the trash. I'm not talking about walking the dog. I'm not talking about doing the dishes, going to work. I'm not talking about any of that shit. I'm talking about taking ownership and responsibility over your own actions. Okay. Now, to give a perfect example, okay, when someone's angry, the very first thing they do is they get anxious about it. They want to yell and scream. And when you tell them, to lead an example, if you tell them you're yelling and screaming, oh, I'm yelling and screaming because you're making me do it. To be honest, you're not making them do anything. How they react in that situation is on them, not you. Yes, people have the right to be angry, no problem. Everyone has the right to feel the emotion of anger. They have the right, and they have the right to feel the emotion any way they can, or any way that they have to. But you can't blame somebody else for the actions that you commit yourself, okay? You can't say, hey, you made me do this because you made me mad. No, you chose to do that because you got mad. You cannot constantly throw the blame on somebody for your individual actions. Yes, that person can definitely make you angry, and anger causes you to do things, but it also depends on what you do in that moment that counts. Okay? I get angry myself and I attempt to walk away from people. And I deal with my anger that way. I don't yell. I really don't yell and scream at people, but I will vent and yell and scream in front of someone who's just willing to listen, and they understand that I'm angry, but they're also listening to the words. If you take the anger out of the way and you listen to the words, then you'll get to the bottom of it. Yes, you just have to bypass the screaming and loud noises sometime. But when you do something like you yell and scream, you wake up a baby, you start public embarrassment, you start doing shit like that, that is absolutely ridiculous. That is not the actions of an adult, that is the actions of a child, and you have no one else to blame but yourself. Yes, someone made you angry, someone made you sad, someone made you upset. It's awful funny that when someone is angry, sad, or upset, you're blaming someone else for that, for how you feel. Yes, their actions may have caused you to feel that way, but that does not mean that you have to deal with it that way. I noticed though, however, if someone makes you happy, there's no complaining, there's no bullshit, everyone's joking, the whole 9 yards. But what people got to understand is, it's amazing how people get blamed for pissing you off and causing you to do something stupid or unnecessary. And, oh, you did it because I did that because you did this. No, there's other things you could do because someone else does this, okay? I do most of the time. But I notice you never really blame a person for making you happy half the time. The bottom line is, you really got to take responsibility for your own actions rather than just blaming someone else how you feel. Okay? It makes absolutely no sense. The other thing is, people say, well, these people take responsibility, these people don't. What you need to understand is, stop worrying about who takes responsibility for their own actions, and also worry about taking responsibility for your own actions. That way there's no finger pointing, there's just self-reflection. Yes, you can tell someone how someone made you upset. That's fine. and people are going to get very angry, upset, and things like that. But most people decide to yell and scream. There are some people, however, who completely go silent. They don't say anything, the whole 9 yards, and that way they can deal with it in a different manner that helps. Okay? Tell me, for anyone else who's watching, when you guys get angry, what's the very first thing you do? Do you find somewhere to go? Do you vent out to yourself? Do you blame it on other people? Do you say, well, I got mad because you did this? Things like that. How do you guys vent? How do you guys get it out of your system when you're angry or so? Sorry, it's really hard for me to read the screen right now because, one, like I said before, I should be wearing my glasses, which I'm not. And number two, I'm just waiting for other people to get in. I'm not sure really why I'm not seeing comments scrolling upwards right now, but let's see here. Okay, it's welcome to live chat, so the chat is definitely up. Let me see if I need to send some. Let's see here. Let's see, copy the link and send it to. Whoops, there we go. We're live again. So, there we go. What? Box. Oh, boo. Well, boo to you too. Hi, how you doing? Where are you going? When I do live streams and I do shorts, I'm just literally walking around. I walk around outside. Unfortunately, I don't have all the money in the world to get myself an office to where I can sit down there, do this, sit back, put all the bells and whistles on the screen for people who want to see something flashy. I just take my cell phone and I walk around the neighborhood and everything. And right now I need to be able to see. Am I from what? Am I from Delaware? It looks like that says. No, I'm not from Delaware, but that's one of the places I go every day. Well, mostly every day. I can't really read the rest. The writing on the screen is way too small. And yes, I should have brought my glasses, but I didn't. Really wish I did though. But I am going to see if I could maybe find a dark spot where I could see what's on the screen a little bit better. But you will hear all the surrounding noises from outside of the places I live. There's a lot of people who own motorcycles around me, which you're probably going to see going by in like a second anyway. So let's show you. So yeah. These are some of the things I like in my area. I love motorcycles. I love helicopters, things like that. I'd like to get back to riding them, definitely. See if I could see anything on this screen right now. What are you doing tomorrow for Easter? I'll be probably doing some time with my grandson for Easter, trying to watch him enjoy his very first Easter that he can actually understand enjoying. Maybe do an Easter egg hunt with him, things like that. Hi, I'm sorry, I just can't read the names. They're too damn small. The phone smudges them in the shade, sorry. But yeah, I'm reading and answering what actually that I can at the moment. And hi, and to my friend Jen, who's I think is in the chat right now, hello to you too. Thanks for coming into the chat. That is absolutely awesome. Thank you very much for joining me. But yes, I am walking around right now in my township, but it's not exactly I am on the Delaware PA state line, basically. I'm on the border of Delaware and PA. What is that? Something you? What? God damn. Can't read shit. Oh. I love you too. Love you too, guys. But I have to say, one of the things I plan on doing with my life, hopefully my channel hopefully doing all this goes somewhere for everybody. Hopefully I can improve my life, and my goal is actually to try to help improve the life of people around me also. I am not, if anyone who knows me, like Jen here in the chat, anyone who knows me, I don't do anything just for myself. I do everything and anything so that I can maybe help other people also, not just me. I am on here so I can actually give people morals, think about their actions, think about what's going on in life. Therefore, they're better informed, they can make better decisions, things like that. Bring up important topics, you know what I mean? I've done basically, unless it comes up again, to be honest with you, I've done everything I can and that I'm going to do about racism, hate. The biggest thing coming up right now is AI, because AI is going to be taking jobs, first women's jobs and then white collar jobs. They said it's supposed to happen somewhere between, I think they said 2028 and 2032, something like that. Okay, that's when all that's supposed to happen. I really hope it doesn't, because see, I can understand AI making video games and movies and songs and things like that, you know, help you out in that way, because you already have like Alexa and Siri for like Android and Apple. But now you have Sophia, who is now officially the citizen of a country, and at the same time you have other AIs who are doing modeling. You have some AIs who are doing all that stuff like that. How you doing? I just had an officer try to keep himself from interfering with what I was doing. So I thought it was funny, he actually picked up and drove away. That was weird. I was going to say hi to him and give him a salute and everything. I do try to salute people who are public servants, you know what I mean? Good, not questionable cops, but good cops. I try to thank people who are on the front line every day, anybody who's military, police officers, doctors, firefighters, things like that. I try to salute them because they're doing jobs that nobody else can or wants to do in some senses. Okay, so I mean, you see a cop, you see someone who's a medic, thank them for being a hero. I mean, if they're doing their job and they're taking care of you specifically, instead of just walking out, just say, hey, thanks. I appreciate all the care and everything. I appreciate what you're doing. Now, I can admit there are some police officers who don't do their job and they'd rather harass people and just get that ticket and everything else like that. That's the kind I don't even like myself, the pieces of garbage. I can name a few, but some are from Linwood, Pennsylvania. So I won't name names though. Yeah, but what else do we have here? What do you guys what subjects would you guys like to hit up on? Let's see here. Let's see what I can actually read. Wait. What? Oh, Easter Sunday, that one's still there. Okay. But no, in order when I'm doing this, I'm actually just walking around my neighborhood at the moment. I just try to keep my head in the shot though, because, you know, YouTubers, again, who are starting out, they don't really have all that knocked up equipment and everything else like that. They don't have all this time and energy. They don't have places to go. They don't have a personal office, things like that. I have to get a house. I really have to invest some time in getting a house that's going to do that for me, with the extra room that I could use for an office or somewhere that I can actually deck out to make this channel look absolutely great. Right now, it is just me, my personality, my attitude, my thoughts. You guys here with me, asking any and all concerning questions, any and all comments and concerns that I can answer and listen to. Let's see here. I see everybody decided to stop making comments. Thank you for all the thumbs up, though. One person left. Apparently, now here's the good thing. Even after I go YouTube live for you guys, I do also keep this thing running a little bit to get things off my chest, but half the time, a lot of you guys respond on the post stream also, which is why I'm glad I leave them there. you guys respond on the post streams, because when I actually put them, it takes, I think it's 12 to 24 hours of processing time, okay? After that 12 to 24 hours of processing time for a video that comes through, then I can actually send it to unlisted, and after it goes unlisted, I can send it to a regular recording. That's when people start watching the aftermath version of it. And the great thing I like about the aftermath version is I don't like to save video highlights. I want you to listen to the whole thing, okay? Therefore, your opinions can come out on every thought. And if everyone still leaves comments even after the video, that's helpful too. I will do everything I can to answer every question available. As far as I go myself, this is pretty much me doing what I love to do, handing out advice, showing what kind of good people can do, and doing what's right doing what's right no matter what the reason is. And that's all I can say at the moment. It is right now here where I'm at, it is a nice hot day at the moment. It's not exactly the hottest temperature that it could be, but the humidity is a motherfucker. See, in Pennsylvania, I live in, it is decently warm. I think it's about 87 at the moment. Maybe 79, something like that, but it's decently warm. It is decently hot. Yeah, I know, for every person per area, they can use their own phones to check out the weather, but dude, being out here in it, that's another story. But guys, as I come across things to deal with, I will be dropping lives. Sometimes if it's not a big subject, I'll just drop it in a short. If you guys feel that it needs to be touched on more, let me know. I'll definitely make a live out of that too. For now, thank you guys very much for watching. Now, what I was mentioning about responsibility and taking responsibility for your own actions rather than blaming somebody else on how you're acting at that point in time, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your concerns. But for now, take that little piece that I was actually giving you just now. Think about it. I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys next time.